Hey friends. Well, it's gonna be a little hard for me to make this video. Today was actually a really bad day for me. A really, really bad day. To get everybody all caught up to speed, I'll talk from the beginning. So a few weeks back, my dog Nico, and my husky. I've had him for like 8, 9 years now. Um, I went downstairs and tried to play with him, tried to pet him, usually he just jumps right up. He's a really, really, really happy dog, because we just loved him so much. Um, but he didn't that morning. He was just looking at me and he was like he was losing consciousness, like something was wrong. So we did what anybody would do. We rushed him to the emergency vet. Um, the emergency vet said he has cancer in his spleen. Um, they had to perform a surgery. I forget what it's called, splenectomy or something like that, to remove his spleen because there was cancer on his spleen, and he was actually internally bleeding. I forgot to mention when he was laying on the floor, his stomach was huge, huge. I'm talking like imagine a skinny person with a huge beer belly. Um, So they said he was internally bleeding. He has actually lost 4 liters of blood, 4 whole liters. That's 2 liters of blood that was in his stomach building up that caused his stomach to be that big. So as many of you know, I'm not working currently. I was trying to find an at-home job because my wife is disabled, and with the way things are going, there's no way for me to work and not be home. You know, like I'm not that guy who doesn't want to work, who's lazy. It's just I care more about my wife. I care more about her safety than making real good money at some corporate job that I'm used to. So, anyways, um, they would charge us $7,400 and $7,400. Um, didn't have it. Just didn't have it. Had to get approved for some emergency veterinarian loan. Ended up getting approved for, I want to say it was 7,000. And the bill was literally about $7,000. Only a week later, they sent us an additional bill for $400. So now it's $7,400. So they removed his spleen. They told us to keep an eye on him. He came home like 2, 3, 4 days later. Um, he seemed normal. They told us to keep an eye on his gums. Like his gums and his glands. But we jumped forward maybe 2 weeks to go get his stitches taken out, and they said his glands didn't seem the correct color. Like they seemed much lighter than they should be by now, meaning that he may be bleeding somewhere else. So, um, that's 2 weeks forward. So I think 2 days prior to that, they called us and informed us on a biopsy or about his biopsy that he has aggressive cancer elsewhere. So we've been keeping an eye on his gums. They looked fine mostly. They looked a little light. They didn't look pale. So about 2.5 hours ago of me making this video, they were very pale. I'm actually covered in him. This is all his fur. I don't know whatever was on him for when I carried him to the truck. Um, we took him back to the emergency vet because his gums were like white, like his tongue was white too. Well, I don't remember his old blur, but I think his gums were actually black and his tongue was white. But we took him back to the emergency vet. They ran a bunch of tests, charged us even more money we don't have. You know? Here's a picture of him before I lost him. He passed away at my arms. But, you know, it sucks losing an animal, you know. A person, an animal, is someone you consider your family. You know, he wasn't just our family, you know. He's my mom's service dog. She's a disabled veteran. Now she has all these bills she has to pay. Like $10,000. Like, where'd you get a clump of $10,000? You know, naturally, I'm gonna try to help her. I did just land a job. Finally, I got an at-home job, guys. I got hired for it officially, I think, last Thursday or last Friday. I don't start till my birthday in September, though. But, the whole situation sucks. It all sucks. We lost our family member, our buddy. His name was Nico. And it turned out he was bleeding again, but this time the blood was coming from his kidney. His kidney or his liver, I don't even remember right now. But was it his liver? No, it was his liver. So this time it was coming from his liver, and then of course they said, well, we can't remove his liver. We did everything we could. We'll keep him alive. We'll help keep him alive for a little bit. They put on oxygen, give him a bunch of drugs, you know. Racked up even more bills. More bills we don't have. And then not to mention, I still have to go back and figure out how I'm going to pay for his box, you know. I'm going to get him cremated because he was part of our family. But this video is definitely a little weird for me because usually I'm crying about my wife because my wife is in and out of the hospital. But this time we lost our big boy. That's what I used to call him, Big Boy, and he'd start dancing with his little scarf. But that's all, guys. I just wanted to give you an update on Nico. Story time. I guess there's not really much to say at the moment. But I did land a job, so that's cool. I lost my best friend though. And yeah, if anybody wants to help me out, feel free to donate to my Cash App below. I know you don't know me. I know I'm nobody famous. But at least I'm not using people or scamming people, so that's a plus. With that being said, have a wonderful night, guys. Peace.